And then I'll come to these two. Since we were talking about filling up the things, we can use Control G. And we were talking about navigation inside the Excel. So let's go to this place. And now I know this is data is 388 and I want to navigate to some place. Let's say, let this place be column A 200. Now, one way is you go like this and reach till the end. The other way of doing this is you can simply just hit Control G on the keyboard. When you hit Control and G, you will get go to box. This reference is the place where you can navigate any place. Let's write A200 and just hit OK. You can see you have come to cell A200. So you can navigate inside the cell. If your control home is not working, you can just hit Control G and write A1. Normally it works. You will go to the top of the cell. So if you have to navigate to the particular cell, you can use Control G. This is helpful when you are editing a formula and say formula says VLOOKUP and lookup value is coming from A300. Now you want to see what that A300 lookup value is. Then you can use Control G. Manual scrolling will take a lot of time. Normally you will get the hyperlinks also, but screen can show only 25-30 items at one go. So you'll have to go down into that. That is where Control G will help you out. The second thing that Control G does it helps you in selection. So Control G helps you in selection. And that is where this Control G things comes very, very handy. Let's look into our book. I have made some spaces in here, right? So when I'm moving down, see, I'm stopping at spaces. So in my revenue and units, there are some spaces and I do not want the spaces in here. What I want is, I want the spaces to be get filled with 0. Let's assume that. So what I'll do is I'll select this entire thing. I'll hit Control G and in Control G, I'll hit this word special. Now you can use, since we have inserted this box. So if you remember, we talked about alt exception. We normally hit the alt and leave, but when we insert something into Excel, we can use the alt by holding it up. So if you have to navigate to this word special, hold the alt and whatever is underlined. I'll do it again, Control G. So what is underlined? I need to go to special. One way is you hit the tab and navigate. The other one is, since this is a box which is opened on top of Excel, I can do the navigation using the holding the alt key and hitting the underline alphabet. So what is underlined in here? S. Alt S. It will open this special box. Same way, if you want to navigate inside this entire thing, now I want to come to blanks. One way is you hit the tab key or use the arrow key to come back. Or if you straight away want to come here, alt and what is underlined? K. Hold the alt key, but in this case, you have to hold the alt key. And you can just jump around in all of this. Say I want to go to the notes again. So the shortcut key will be hold the alt key and what is underlined? N, you come in. Blanks, K. You don't have to hit the tab or arrow keys to come down. Now remember, go to special is only selecting. It will only select. What it will select? What I want to get selected. I want to formulas or blanks to get selected. I'll say select all the blanks that you have inside the data and say okay. So what it is doing, it is selecting all the blanks inside the data. Now comes the next task. Next task that we have is to fill zeros in all of them. So next what we need is, we need to fill 0. So first thing that you need to remember, don't click on sheet or else your selection will go. Second, use Control plus enter. Don't just hit enter. You put 0. It can come here or it can come down based on how I have selected. So once a 0 is inputted, hold the control key on your keyboard and hit enter. What control enter does it repeats the same thing inside the selected cells. So we have few cells selected, so control and enter. You'll see you will get zeros at all the places where we had blanks. Since I have selected this two only, so you will getting zeros at these two places. Right? So remember, I'll do this control enter again before we go into formulas. What does control enter do? It fills up the values or formulas, whatever is there in the selected one cell, it will fill up in the remaining selected cells. Let's do something. Say, hold the control key, and this is what you have to do with mouse. This is known as discrete selection. You cannot do discrete selection without using your mouse. Continuous selection you can do by shift key, shift and arrow keys. This is continuous selection. But if you want discrete, something like this, hold the control key and use your mouse to select. Now, in all these places, I want to write, let's say RVM, or let's say 1, 2, 3. So write 1, 2, 3 anywhere, pull the control key and hit enter. Till the time they are selected, you can just hit the delete and the delete will work. The entire things will work, will move actually. Now, if you want to write a formula into something, let's write sum 1, 2 and control enter. The same formula will get repeated in all the cells. So if you look at this cell, the same formula is there, same formula is there. Everywhere the formula will remain the same. This is very handy when we are filling. I use control enter to normally fill up a range of formulas, which we'll be doing when we go into the formulas. So what we have seen control G, which will help me in selection. Now, let us do one more thing. Let us try and select. This is something that you might get while you're working on something, or you have to find uh, data validation tabs, so you have to find where the formula is applied, because if you look at here, there are more of numbers which are written. Let's say somewhere the formula is applied, equal to 1 divided by 9. I'm just putting some arbitrary formulas here and there. Now you got this sheet which has numbers and things. Now you need to understand, you're not sure whether someone has put the formula or formulas are there or not there, and you need to understand this entire thing. So what you normally can do is you can select this entire sheet, entire place, Control G, go to special, Alt S, and hit on the formulas. So what you want here, what you want to do is you want the formulas to get into this part, to get selected. So when you're looking at these formulas to get selected, and this is one good thing, so we will do conditional formatting and make you understand how you can take the average and select that data without using much of a pivots and things. So first let's do Control G and this, and I'll show you conditional formatting into this. So formulas, say okay, the formulas will get selected. Go to this tab and put any color that you want. Do not click on the sheet, because if you click on the sheet, the selection will go. Again, you have to apply it. Done. Now you need to sort them. This place, everything is good. You can hit the filters and you can filter by color. So how do we put filters? Control Shift L. Make a note of this. So I'll just remove them. For putting and applying and removing, you can hit Control Shift L. By default, what Excel does it goes to the top and put the filters there. But if you do not have any heading or thing, it can put in middle. So normally I select, you can go anywhere in the data. If you have the headings at the top, the first row is selected. If the headings are not there, then also the first row will get selected by default. If you want to put filter in between, then select that particular row and hit Control Shift L. If you're using, there are other ways of doing this also. If you're using any other way of putting the filters, that's absolutely correct. Now, what does filters do? Filters help me out to sort the data. Now, let's look at this. Say, for example, I only need to select where I have formulas in there. Revenue. And you can sort this data. I'll just take the filter here, quick and fast. You can sort this entire data by largest to smallest or smallest to largest. You can sort by color. See, click on this. You can sort them by color. They'll come at the top. Now you can see that these are the cells which are having the formulas, and you can just change them or convert to values, whatever your task is. So this becomes one way of handling the data. Then when you go down, you can see a lot of things running in here. If you want anything, you can have it. You can have number filters running. You can have greater than or less than, whatever you need. Say, for example, you need top 10. click on top 10 and you can use percentage or you can use items. I'll say okay. You will find top 10 items based on the revenue. The sorting automatically happens. Same way, select all. If you want everything, you can just have to clean the filter, everything will come. Same way, and you can just remove the filter from here. And let's say no filter. Now, what we need to do is important thing, which I want you to make note of it. Whenever you get a data which has, I'll just write it here. Just make a note of this. If you're using it good, I'm just putting it here. Whenever we get data which already has filters, you get data with filters. Then if the data is small, data is something like what I have here. So you could have seen the filter thing. But if the data is big, knowing where the filter is or filter is applied would be difficult. So before you analyze, remove filters. And if needed, apply again. Because I can send you a file which could, let's say 50,000 databases, and I have sorted on some X variable, and you unfortunately could not see it because after the filtering there are 15,000 data points. So you need to remove the filter, and if you need, apply it again.